The Hollywood landscape has been forever marked by the towering legacy of Gene Hackman. Known for his Oscar-winning performances and his indelible mark on cinema, Hackman was beloved by millions. His passing, alongside that of his wife Betsy Arakawa and their dog, in their Santa Fe home on February 26, 2025, has left the world stunned and heartbroken. But what happened behind closed doors? What led to this tragic discovery? And what does his daughter, Elizabeth Jean Hackman, have to say about her father's mysterious death? For years, the Hackman family kept their personal life out of the limelight, allowing Gene Hackman's public image to remain centered on his career and accomplishments. However, in the wake of her father's passing, Elizabeth, at 62 years old, has broken her silence, sharing her emotional revelation and the family's suspicions surrounding his death. The truth, it seems, may be more complicated than it initially appeared. On February 26, 2025, a discovery in the quiet town of Santa Fe, New Mexico, turned a once peaceful home into the setting for a mystery. Gene Hackman, at 95 years old, had led a long, distinguished life, but the manner of his passing would send ripples through Hollywood. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, and one of their 3 beloved dogs were also found deceased in the residence. The body of Hackman was discovered in the mudroom, while Arakawa was found in a bathroom. Both were in an advanced state of decomposition. The grim scene was uncovered by a maintenance worker who had visited the house for routine upkeep. Shocked by what he found, he immediately called emergency services. According to the worker, the last communication he had with the couple occurred about 2 weeks prior to the discovery, which raised questions about how long they had been dead before being found. The police investigation revealed that the bodies had been decomposing for at least several days before the discovery, leaving everyone wondering what caused their deaths. Sheriff's deputies from Santa Fe quickly arrived at the scene. Upon initial inspection, no immediate signs of foul play were found. It was noted, however, that prescription medications were scattered around the house, including those for high blood pressure and thyroid conditions. While no carbon monoxide leak was detected in the house, the mysterious nature of the deaths left everyone with more questions than answers. Among the tragedy was the fate of their German Shepherd, who was discovered lifeless in a closet near Arakawa's body. The other 2 dogs, however, were found alive on the property, providing a sliver of hope amidst the tragedy. Yet the questions kept mounting. Could the cause of death have been something as silent and insidious as carbon monoxide poisoning? Further investigation into the circumstances surrounding the deaths revealed that both Hackman and Arakawa had passed away at least several days before being discovered, possibly up to 2 weeks earlier. This was confirmed by data retrieved from Hackman's pacemaker, which suggested that the actor likely passed away on February 17th, nearly 2 weeks prior to when the bodies were found. The Hackman family, though deeply saddened by the loss, has not remained silent. Gene Hackman's daughter, Elizabeth Jean Hackman, who has largely stayed out of the public eye throughout her life, has finally stepped forward to share her thoughts and the family's suspicions about the cause of her father's and Betsy Arakawa's deaths. In an exclusive interview with TMZ, Elizabeth revealed that the family believes carbon monoxide poisoning may have played a role in their deaths. She shared that, while the investigation is still ongoing, the family's suspicions are based on their knowledge of the property and their understanding of the circumstances surrounding their parents' deaths. The police response came after a welfare check was requested by a concerned neighbor. When the police arrived, they discovered that Gene Hackman, his wife Betsy, and one of their dogs had already been dead for at least a day, possibly more. The reasons behind the welfare check remain unclear, leaving many to wonder why it took so long for anyone to raise alarm over the couple's absence. Despite the lack of immediate evidence of foul play, law enforcement has not completely ruled anything out. Sheriff Adan Mendoza confirmed that there were no obvious signs of a crime at the scene, but they continue to investigate. At this point, they are exploring all possible causes of death, including the possibility of carbon monoxide poisoning, though initial tests have ruled out the presence of this dangerous gas. Elizabeth did not disclose specific details about her father's health. However, it is known that, in his last public appearance nearly a year ago, Gene Hackman was seen using a cane for mobility. His decline in health was gradual, and his family had long been concerned about his well-being. However, nothing prepared them for the shocking and sudden nature of his passing. In addition to Elizabeth, Gene Hackman is survived by his two other children, his eldest son, Christopher, and his younger daughter, Leslie. Though Gene and Betsy did not have children together, their family, in all its branches, is now grieving the loss of a man who touched so many lives through his remarkable acting career. In the wake of their immense loss, the Hackman family released a heartfelt tribute to the beloved actor. In a statement to Parade, Elizabeth, Leslie, and granddaughter Annie paid tribute to Gene Hackman as both a legendary figure and a cherished family member. It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of our father, Gene Hackman, and his wife, Betsy, they said. He was loved and admired by millions around the world for his brilliant acting career, but to us, he was always just Dad and Grandpa. We will miss him sorely and are devastated by the loss. The words reflect the profound sorrow the family feels, even as the world continues to celebrate Hackman's extraordinary career. The family's grief is compounded by the uncertainty surrounding the cause of their deaths, leaving them with an emotional void that cannot be filled. Yet in this moment of sadness, they hold on to each other, supporting one another as they move through this difficult time. Elizabeth, though grieving, has chosen to keep her personal life largely out of the public eye. She is a woman who values her privacy, and as the Hackman family navigates these dark waters, she is standing by her family while quietly processing the loss of her father. Though Elizabeth Jean Hackman has lived much of her life away from the public eye, her name will always be associated with one of Hollywood's most enduring legends. Born in 1963, she is the middle child of Gene Hackman and his first wife, Faye Maltz. Unlike her father, Elizabeth has never sought the limelight, preferring instead to live a life of relative privacy. However, the tragic loss of her father has thrust her into the public sphere. What Elizabeth may lack in public recognition, she certainly makes up for in her quiet strength. As a woman who has largely stayed out of the media spotlight, her candid interview about her father's death provides an insight into the profound grief she feels, as well as her desire to preserve her family's privacy in this difficult time. In the wake of such a public tragedy, Elizabeth, along with her siblings, has had to come to terms with the reality of their father's passing and the mystery surrounding it. But above all, they continue to remember him as the man who was, to them, simply Dad. Through the pain of their loss, they are united in the desire to honor his legacy. While the official investigation into the cause of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's deaths is ongoing, the mystery surrounding their passing continues to unfold. The Hackman family is holding on to hope for clarity, hoping that the investigation will eventually provide the answers they so desperately need. However, with no definitive cause of death yet established, they are left to cope with the uncertainty that has added another layer of grief to an already heartbreaking situation. As the investigation progresses, questions remain about what truly happened behind the closed doors of the Hackman household. Could carbon monoxide poisoning be the culprit? Or is there another explanation for this sudden and tragic loss? As the world awaits answers, the Hackman family is focused on supporting one another as they navigate this unimaginable time of sorrow and loss. In the end, the Hackman family's greatest desire is to honor the memory of Gene Hackman, not just as an iconic figure in Hollywood history, but as a father, grandfather, and beloved family member. The mystery surrounding his death is just one part of the story. The love he shared with his family and the legacy he leaves behind will continue to resonate with those who knew him best. As they move forward, the Hackman family remains united in their grief, their love for one another, and their commitment to preserving Gene Hackman's legacy. The true story of his life may be far more complex than the Hollywood glitz and glamour that made him famous, but it will always be a story that continues to inspire and captivate those who remember him. Gene Hackman, the name synonymous with brilliance in Hollywood, is much more than just an actor. He's an embodiment of resilience, a man who conquered adversity at every turn. However, his legacy is not just confined to the silver screen. It extends to his family, his privacy, and his unshakable determination to carve his own path. In this tale, we'll delve into Hackman's early life, his rise to stardom, the family he raised, and the remarkable choices his children, including his daughter Elizabeth, made to stay away from the glare of the public eye. Born on January 30, 1930, in San Bernardino, California, Gene Hackman's early life was defined by instability. His family, which included his mother Anaita Elizabeth and father Eugene Ezra Hackman, was no stranger to change. Hackman's mother hailed from Sarnia, Ontario, Canada, and the Hackman family moved frequently during his childhood. Eventually, they settled in Illinois, where Hackman's formative years were spent. Hackman's early life was far from glamorous. He was often a misfit in school, struggling with grades and dealing with various personal challenges. These early obstacles could have easily defeated a lesser man, but not Gene Hackman. He found his escape in the arts, where he began to focus his energy on acting. In 1949, Hackman enlisted in the United States Marine Corps during the Korean War, an experience that, while brief, taught him discipline and resilience, qualities that would later define his approach to acting. After his time in the military, Hackman returned to civilian life, determined to pursue a career in acting. However, his journey to fame would not be easy. In 1956, Hackman enrolled at the prestigious Pasadena Playhouse in California, where he crossed paths with other aspiring actors, most notably Dustin Hoffman. Despite their shared struggles, Hackman's early experiences in the Playhouse were far from smooth. He was frequently criticized by his peers and instructors, and he received the lowest grade the school had ever given, an embarrassment that could have destroyed his dreams. But instead of succumbing to failure, Hackman used it as motivation to push forward. After his time at the Playhouse, Hackman moved to New York City, where he struggled to make a living. He worked odd jobs while pursuing acting, often living in cramped apartments with fellow actors, including Hoffman and Robert Duvall. Their shared hardships built a bond that would last for years, but for Hackman, it was the beginning of a long and difficult road to stardom. In 1970, Hackman's big break came when he starred in the film I Never Sang for My Father, a role that earned him an Academy Award nomination. However, it was his portrayal of the tough, gritty New York detective Jimmy Popeye Doyle in The French Connection, 1971, that catapulted him to international fame. Hackman won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance, cementing his place in Hollywood history. From there, his career exploded, and he became one of the most sought-after actors of the 1970s and 1980s. During the early 70s, Hackman starred in a series of critically acclaimed films, including The Conversation, 1974, Young Frankenstein, 1974, and Scarecrow, 1973, a film that earned him the prestigious Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. Hackman's range was remarkable. He was equally adept at playing serious, dramatic roles as he was at delivering comedic performances. In the 1980s, Hackman continued his successful streak, starring in the beloved sports drama Hoosiers, 1986, widely regarded as one of the greatest sports films of all time. Hackman's portrayal of a troubled basketball coach resonated with audiences and critics alike, further solidifying his status as a Hollywood A-lister. By the 1990s and 2000s, Hackman's career showed no signs of slowing down. He worked with some of the biggest stars of the era, including Morgan Freeman in Under Suspicion, 2000, Keanu Reeves in The Replacements, 2000, and Owen Wilson in Behind Enemy Lines, 2001. Perhaps one of his most iconic roles in the new millennium came in 2001, when he portrayed the eccentric patriarch of a dysfunctional family in The Royal Tenenbaums. His performance earned him a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, a testament to his ability to seamlessly transition into different genres. In 2004, Hackman made the difficult decision to retire from acting. His final film, Welcome to Mooseport, was a lighthearted comedy far removed from the intensity of his earlier roles. Despite this farewell to the world of acting, Hackman remained active in other areas. He took up writing and published several novels, and he even made a brief return to narrate 2 Marine Corps documentaries in 2016 and 2017. Hackman's retirement was not just the end of a career. It was the culmination of a life dedicated to his craft. His ability to overcome the odds and turn failure into success serves as an inspiration to actors and non-actors alike. Despite the immense fame of her father, Elizabeth Hackman has lived a remarkably private life. Born in August 1962 to Gene Hackman and his first wife, Faye Malt, Elizabeth is the middle child in the Hackman family, with an older brother named Christopher Allen and a younger sister named Leslie Jean. Unlike many celebrity offspring who seek attention in the public eye, Elizabeth and her siblings have chosen to live far from the spotlight. They have made a conscious decision to lead private lives, refusing to succumb to the pressures of fame. Elizabeth, in particular, has made only rare appearances at public events. One notable occasion was the 1978 screening of Superman, in which her father famously portrayed the villainous Lex Luthor. She was also seen at the 1996 premiere of The Chamber, another film in which her father starred. However, these rare glimpses were the exception, not the rule. As an adult, Elizabeth Hackman has largely remained out of the public eye. Few details about her personal life are known, including whether she is married or has children. She, like her father, seems to value privacy and discretion over public attention. Her siblings, Christopher and Leslie, have also chosen to stay out of the limelight, preferring lives that are not defined by their famous father's legacy. Gene Hackman, for his part, has also kept a low profile in recent years. After his marriage to Faye Malt ended, he found love again with Betsy Arakawa, whom he married in 1991. The couple has remained together for over 30 years, leading a quiet life away from the Hollywood hustle. Hackman, now in his 90s, retired from acting and opted to spend his final years in peace with his wife, away from the media frenzy that once consumed his life. In a world where celebrity children often follow in their parents' footsteps, seeking their own slice of the spotlight, the Hackman children have opted for a different path. They have embraced their privacy, choosing to live quiet, unassuming lives, away from the chaos of Hollywood fame. Their decision reflects not only their desire for normalcy, but also the influence of their father, who, despite his legendary career, always preferred to keep his personal life out of the public eye. Gene Hackman's journey to stardom was not a smooth one, but it is a testament to his resilience and determination. He overcame numerous challenges, both personal and professional, to become one of the most respected actors in Hollywood history. His story is one of perseverance, of turning failure into success, of rising above the critics, and of carving a place for himself in a competitive industry. His decision to retire from acting in 2004 marked the end of an era, but it also symbolized the beginning of a new chapter. Hackman, now living quietly with his wife, continues to inspire those who follow in his footsteps. His story and the lives of his children, including Elizabeth, serve as a reminder that not all legacies are built on fame and fortune. Some, like the Hackman family, choose to build their legacy through privacy, discretion, and a commitment to leading fulfilling, peaceful lives. While Gene Hackman's career may have earned him a permanent place in Hollywood history, it is the quiet lives of his children, Elizabeth, Christopher, and Leslie, that remind us that sometimes the greatest legacies are the ones that are lived in the shadows, away from the limelight. Gene Hackman's life story, one of resilience, passion, and an unwavering pursuit of dreams, is a testament to the human spirit's ability to triumph over adversity. Born in Illinois to a family with a deep connection to both the arts and the working class, Hackman's early years were marked by personal challenges that shaped his character and career. His father, a printer at the local newspaper, provided the family with stability, yet his parents' tumultuous marriage ended in divorce when Hackman was just 13. Despite these early struggles, Hackman's desire to become an actor never wavered, and by the time he was 10, he had already set his sights on Hollywood. Hackman's childhood, though marked by turmoil, did not deter him from his dreams. After a brief time at Storm Lake High School, Hackman made the bold decision to leave home at the age of 16 and enlist in the United States Marine Corps, determined to serve his country. He lied about his age to join, becoming a field radio operator. His military service took him to China, where he was stationed in the city of Qingdao and later Shanghai. As political upheaval swept through China in 1949, Hackman was reassigned to Hawaii and Japan. After 4.5 years of service, Hackman was discharged in 1951 and he returned to civilian life. Determined to find a new direction, Hackman relocated to New York City, working a series of odd jobs while trying to find his place in the big city. Unfortunately, in 1962, Hackman faced another heartbreaking loss when his mother tragically died in a fire she accidentally started while smoking. Despite this emotional setback, Hackman remained focused on his aspirations and enrolled in the University of Illinois, intending to pursue a career in journalism and television production. However, his time at the university was brief, as he dropped out before completing his degree. This decision didn't deter Hackman from following his dream of acting. He made his way back to California, where his journey to Hollywood stardom began. Through a series of personal and professional transitions, Gene Hackman's life and career began to flourish. His perseverance led him to become one of the most versatile and respected actors in Hollywood, earning numerous accolades for his roles in films that are still considered cinematic masterpieces. Hackman's story is one of personal growth and an unwavering commitment to his craft, overcoming the challenges of early family struggles and personal loss to achieve incredible success in Hollywood. Gene Hackman's life was marked by extraordinary professional success, but his personal life was equally rich and complex. Over the course of his life, Hackman experienced 2 significant marriages that deeply influenced his personal and family life. His first marriage in 1956 to Faye Maltz spanned nearly 3 decades, bringing the couple 3 children, a son, Christopher Allen, and 2 daughters, Elizabeth Jean and Leslie. Despite the demands of his career, which often kept him away from home for extended periods of time, Hackman remained a dedicated father. Though the challenges of balancing family life with a successful Hollywood career were undeniable. Unfortunately, after nearly 30 years of marriage, Hackman and Maltz divorced in 1986. Though this marked the end of one chapter in Hackman's life, it also marked the beginning of another. In 1991, Hackman remarried, this time to Betsy Arakawa, a classical pianist born in 1959. Arakawa would become an essential figure in Hackman's life, and together they created a peaceful and fulfilling life in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The couple's home, perched atop a 12-acre hill, offered breathtaking views of the Sangre de Cristo and Sandia mountain ranges, providing them with the tranquility and serenity Hackman had longed for after decades in the limelight. Their home, featured in Architectural Digest in 1990, reflected their shared appreciation for beauty, culture, and the arts. The design was a blend of southwestern architectural styles, mirroring the couple's deep connection to the region's heritage. Santa Fe became their sanctuary, a place where Hackman could step away from the spotlight and immerse himself in the local art scene. Despite his retirement from acting, Hackman remained involved in the vibrant cultural life of Santa Fe, regularly attending cultural events and contributing to the artistic community. Hackman's marriage to Arakawa lasted until her tragic passing in 2025. Their life together in Santa Fe was marked by mutual respect and a shared passion for the arts. Arakawa, a talented classical pianist, was an integral part of Hackman's world, and their relationship embodied the harmony and balance that Hackman had always sought. Their life in Santa Fe was not just about art. It was a journey of personal serenity and deep connection, away from the hustle and bustle of Hollywood's demands. Even in his later years, Hackman's life continued to reflect the values of resilience, peace, and artistic pursuit. His years with Arakawa were marked by a quiet serenity that was rare for someone who had spent so many years in the intense glare of Hollywood. Together, they created a sanctuary where both Hackman and Arakawa could thrive as individuals and as a couple, free from the pressures of the entertainment industry. As Hackman's passing in February 2025 reverberated across Hollywood and the world, the Hackman family was left to cope with the emotional aftermath of their loss. Elizabeth Jean Hackman, the middle child of Jean and his first wife, Faye Maltz, has always kept a low profile in the public eye. However, in the wake of her father's death, Elizabeth has chosen to break her silence and share her thoughts on the circumstances surrounding his passing. In a heartfelt interview with TMZ, Elizabeth confirmed rumors circulating about her father's death and expressed her family's suspicions about the cause. While the official investigation is still ongoing, Elizabeth and her siblings believe that carbon monoxide poisoning may have been responsible for the deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa. This theory emerged after the couple was discovered dead in their home by a maintenance worker who raised concerns after not having heard from them for over 2 weeks. Though the police investigation revealed no immediate signs of foul play, and carbon monoxide poisoning was ruled out as a cause initially, Elizabeth's candid statement sheds light on the family's deep concerns. The cause of death, though still unclear, has left the family grappling with questions and the painful reality of their loss. In addition to Elizabeth, Hackman is survived by his son Christopher and his younger daughter Leslie. Together, the Hackman children mourn the loss of a father who, despite his fame, was always just dad to them. In a statement released to Parade, Elizabeth, Leslie, and Hackman's granddaughter Annie expressed their sorrow and paid tribute to the legendary actor. Their words conveyed not only their grief but also their profound appreciation for Hackman's legacy as both a father and a renowned Hollywood star. Gene Hackman's life, marked by personal and professional triumphs, serves as an inspiring example of resilience. From his humble beginnings in Illinois to his rise as one of Hollywood's greatest actors, Hackman's journey was never easy, but it was one of perseverance and unwavering dedication to his craft. His story is not just about fame or accolades. It's about overcoming life's challenges, embracing new beginnings, and finding peace in the latter years of life. Now, as his family navigates the aftermath of his passing, they hold on to the cherished memories of a man who was both an icon and a loving father and grandfather. The family's journey through grief and remembrance continues, and as they await the answers to the questions surrounding his death, they remain committed to preserving the memory of the man they loved, Gene Hackman, a legend both on and off the screen. As we reflect on Gene Hackman's extraordinary journey, we invite you to share your thoughts and memories in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the icons who shaped Hollywood.